All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PIPCAST 3000, episode 94. This is a gaming type podcast thing where we talk about video games and gaming news and usually have a Bethesda-centric Fallout or Skyrim something or other kind of topic. I'm Caedo Genesis. I'm joined by my co-hosts, BADCOMPANYSARGE.
Hello there.
And Jared of Jarred Gaming.
Hello.
Jarred Gaming. I need to enunciate when I say your name.
Hello.
And we've decided this episode, this moment right now in time to do another tier list. So if you don't like tier lists, I don't know, go listen to a different episode. If you do like tier lists, it's going to be in the chapter points, so you can just skip ahead if you're looking for our opinions on the Fallout DLCs, because that's what we're going to be tier listing. So but before we get to that point, we have the comment of the cast, which is a comment we grab from the previous episode and read it out and discuss if it's a discussion one. And then we have the news stuff, and there's quite a bit of it for this episode. We're catching up on the newsy stuff. Last episode it wasn't super news heavy, but this time it's quite a bit. So, comment of the cast. I think Sarge, you helped determine which one of the two that we were going to read. So could you read this comment from Diabetic Jesus or Jesus?
Sure thing. They say, I think legendary weapons should be done away with and replaced by a far more advanced modding system. I would have much preferred to make my own crazy unique weapon to suit my needs than to just find some random, better than average weapon. And I'd agree with that. I like that. I do still like uniques, but having it just be a far more in-depth modding system, and to be clear, by modding system we don't mean the players are gonna fix the game. We mean like
this early.
Yeah. We are talking about like how you can put a different receiver or magazine or stock on your guns in Fallout 4. And I could see this working, especially with a lot of legendary effects. Like plasma infused, you could just have a receiver, which is the plasma-infused receiver, which adds on some energy damage. Same with two-shot. You could have a different looking one, which has, like, basically two barrels on the gun. So that's a two-shot one, and that gives it a unique visual distinction as well. And like with poisoners, you could have poison-soaked bullets in the magazine, so that's a different mod for that. It's something that could work very well, and I prefer it. So yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Me too.
I am as well. Yeah. And I think like because if it were like a incredibly robust like you could, you know, adjust the handle, adjust the feed, adjust even the ammo type that it takes and stuff like that. You could make some really bonkers things that don't even work like at all, like the way they're supposed to, and just like blow up in your hands. Like I think that would be fun to fit into the game as a system as well. Like maybe the more outrageous or outrageously powerful something is, the higher a little failure bar goes up too.
I could be on board with that.
Be kind of fun.
Kind of like Breath of the Wild, when you put all the ingredients and then it comes out as just like this amorphous gray blob. You're like, oh well, I tried. But sometimes it's an amazing meal that gives you like cold resistance or whatever. Yeah
Could be something along those lines. I just like a risk reward system too, kind of thing, because those are often fairly fun.
Yeah. I think weighing off pros with cons is important, and it's something I've actually complained about within the modding system of Fallout 4, because it's just go down the list and things are better. Your gun weighs more. That's your disadvantage.
Yeah. Where like if we can use the mutations of 76 as an example, like those all have a risk factor on top of the benefits you're getting. But there is also perks that basically take those the risk into like very minimal amounts.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think at this point, I think we can just say we want Fallout to be a bit more complex.
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
That's a good, simpler way to put it, I think. Something else that became a little more complex We should go into the news.
Just right in.
Thanks, Diabetic Jesus. We're going to talk about Cyberpunk a lot.
Game of the year.
Game of the year 2022.
Yeah.
Game of the year every year.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
right.
Continuing our span of, oh wow, Cyberpunk's doing a lot of stuff lately. Last episode we talked about the Edgerunners update that came to the game right before the anime came out. Well, the anime came out, and have you guys watched it at all?
No.
No.
Oh my god. So
It's on my list. I'll get around to it.
okay, so I'm the only one who's watched it. It's a 10 episode anime. It's pretty good. It definitely shows the vibe or has the vibe of what you would expect from a cyberpunk anime. A lot, of course, aesthetically was borrowed from the game. Like the call system, as well as like some of the UI elements and stuff like that, like the quick hacking screen, like that's just basically identical in the anime.
You sure they don't just cut to gameplay?
They could have, like, it was that close.
Oh,
But,
so there was headless T-posing in the anime?
There might have been. There could have been some extras in the background that were
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
T-posing
how
or
often did the main character bump into a wall and it just explode?
At least once. I want to say at least
good.
once.
Alright,
Yeah.
they made it authentic. I appreciate
But
that.
but it looked cool, so you know.
Ray tracing in the anime as well?
Maybe. But
Sorry.
I thought it was pretty good. I don't want to spoil it either for those who want to watch it.
Yep.
But we're using that as like a jumping off point because you guys haven't seen it, so we can't really discuss too much about it. As a jumping off point for the rest of the stuff related to Cyberpunk, when it comes to how many people are playing it since the anime came out, which is a lot.
Apparently
like-
a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From Sarda's favorite,
Ooh.
PC Gamer.
Oh.
I didn't link this, by the way. I looked at this and didn't link it. I was like, I'm going to stay away from PC Gamer today. And then Caedo was like, nope.
According to the title of this one, Cyberpunk 2077 is now pulling in more than 1 million players per day, according to...
That's according to the Cyberpunk Twitter account, saying that each day of this week, Night City has been visited by 1 million players, both new and returning.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where those players are.
Oh.
Because, yeah, the article does say that it's clearly multi-platform numbers, and I've also linked the Steam charts thing, which shows
Yep.
the peak players for the last 30 days on Steam is 96,558, which is
Yes.
a lot. Like, previously, in August, the peak players was 18,695. So that's the highest it's been since the first 2 months, which had 830,000 and 225,000. So December and January of 2020 and 2021 were like the big ones. And ever since, it's like plummeted in player numbers mostly. So this is its biggest rise since launch. So it is significant. But 1 million players, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I know it's on Steam and Epic, so the PC player count is mixed up. And I know there's obviously
it's going to be
console as
split.
well.
Not just Steam and Epic, but also GOG, because
Oh,
GOG
yeah,
is CD
GOG.
Projekt's thing,
Yeah.
and if you use their proprietary platform thing, you probably got a discount. So
Mm,
I'm
So-
assuming they're including consoles as well.
yeah.
in that
They
count, they
have
have to. They have to.
They would have to be.
Yeah.
There-
So
there's-
that would be.
I can say there's less than 500,000 peak players on PC at any time.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this boast is like typical PR.
Yeah.
Like it maybe happened once, and now they're just going like, "Oh, it happens all the time." Come
Yeah,
look,
or
come
there being
see.
like the number of logins during the day, and maybe they're even like counting people twice, or weird stuff like that. Like, because it is literally has been visited by 1 million players, and we don't get much of a breakdown. It's okay. Sure thing, boss.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't I link the new Steam charts? This is the old one.
What? You didn't link Steam charts. I linked Steam charts, and you've just put it on a different line in the outline.
I also linked Steam charts.
Steam charts wasn't on here when I added it.
I also linked Steam charts because they were updated. It was going to be a topic.
That wasn't on this outline. Not when I logged in. I can tell you that.
Well, let me look back and see. Nope. Maybe. Anyway, Steam charts has been changed as well. Let me see if I can find it.
I wonder if they count, like, if your game crashes and you log in again, do they count that as a new login? Because then they would definitely, they would definitely have over 1 million at that point.
Oh damn, yeah. We had 1 million on this one street where someone's game kept crashing.
That was probably me.
Yeah. There's only like 100 people on the street, but we've had 1 million logins.
So the new Steam charts is really cool and shows top sellers. Cyberpunk is up there. Most played, Cyberpunk is in the top 10. And also weekly charts.
Okay,
up to
so
3
this
weeks
is
back, which is really cool.
Store.steam powered Steam charts. I've always wondered, yeah. So that's like the official Valve one you've linked now, which isn't the same thing as Steam charts.
Yes.
They are separate entities. Because
Because
Steam charts is not associated with Valve.
Yeah, and this just came out.
Yeah.
As a thing. But that on its own, I think, like seeing it in top sellers and most played, means that for sure we can say that the anime did make an impact. Like, I
mean, there was a ton of marketing around it as well. The game itself currently 50% off on Steam, and I saw constant tweets about it being on sale during the anime time.
Yeah, but so I will link. Do you want me to replace your link, or do you want me to put my link in there too?
Wait, how do you even find? Because I can't find just a Steam chart for Cyberpunk on here. Because if I search for it, it just is like, here's the game, do you want to buy it? But I can't find the player count thing on the Steam chart that you've linked.
This is a bit to navigate still.
Yeah. I think it's cool that Steam's doing this, but I'd like to have the chart like Cyberpunk has. I mean, it doesn't matter too much for the linking, because we've already got several other things, and people could search for this themselves.
Anyway, cool things. I hope that they don't get lost in their ego again. The CD Projekt Red. Just because their numbers are high.
Like, oh, we are the most amazing game company in the world.
Yeah, we're amazing.
I always knew it.
Yeah, because they also put out a 20-year anniversary video. Because it's their 20-year anniversary. I don't know if you guys watched it.
I kind of have it on currently, but I'm not really.
No, I
it's
didn't watch it.
It's just a bunch of developers talking, basically, and then some memes in between of like Cyberpunk characters, which is kind of funny. But they talked about like best moments and then worst moments and then funniest moments, best part of their career or whatever.
Yeah.
After watching it, I didn't really feel anything that could say more about me than them. But it's I think it's more of like they've been around for 20 years. They should celebrate that kind of thing. I think that is true. However, like even though they did like directly address like Cyberpunk was probably the worst part of my career kind of thing. Like a lot of people were like, this was the hardest time for my career and like a lot of us kind of thing. Because they were talking about like their expectations versus like what actually happened kind of thing. But because of the nature of the video that it was, they didn't really get into the nitty gritty as to, you know, what happened, you know,
Yeah.
the start to finish situation. Like we have most of the cliff notes for kind of what happened, but like it would be nice to get like early like pre-production stuff versus like when Keanu Reeves showed up and they had to rejig the whole story around him. Like that stuff I'm kind of interested in learning about, but
that probably doesn't really have any place in a 20th anniversary.
Oh no,
pat
not at all.
on the back
That's
video.
that's what I'm saying. Like they should celebrate a 20 years of being around like for that long. So enjoy it, I suppose. But they also have, you know, a bit of a hill to climb still, some faith to rekindle with a lot of us that feel a bit burned still. So
I'm just thinking in my head now, like, what video game companies haven't lost faith in the last half decade or so?
which ones haven't?
Yeah, it feels like all of the big ones have done something which has got backlash to it.
Devolver? Do they count?
I don't know if I'd put them as like a big one. I'd probably say more mid-leagues, maybe?
If you're talking about like big publishers in general,
Yeah.
like I can't think of any.
There's like, everyone hates Bethesda because Fallout 76 is an online game. Everyone hates EA because of loot boxes. Everyone hates CD Projekt Red because Cyberpunk has bugs.
What about is it Santa Monica Studios, God of War? They haven't
under
screwed
Sony.
up God of War. Oh, is that Sony technically? But
They're under Sony.
talking about the money or the people who making the games.
You decide, Sarge.
Oh, I don't decide. I throw the topic, I let people argue, and then I step away.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Is that how you operate at parties too?
I don't get invited to parties. I don't know why.
You just slide into a random cluster of people. You're just like Ranger Sequoia, and then you leave.
Okay, dude.
I would be in that group, and then I would immediately just start like saying, "Who said that?" But Sarge would already be gone. Anyway,
interesting.
the more we learn, the more jaded we become. That's maybe the most we can get about this. If you're an ignorant gamer, good for you. Enjoy
Right.
video games. Like, keep enjoying video games. Sometimes things are going wrong in the background, and it's becoming more and more public the longer things go. And we decided to do a news show, and we're doing we're doing the thing where we learn about those things. Some good, some not so good. But you know what is good?
Crunch, the thing everyone loves.
Sarge, I think you're misreading what the thing says.
I love that crunchy flavor.
The candy bar.
Nom 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 nom.
Crunchy peanut butter.
Everyone loves crunchy stuff. Except
so-
HR.
Except HR. HR, at least this one in particular, does not like crunch. So Embracer Group has a head of HR or lead of HR who is said, quote, taking a stand against crunch, which is actually really good. And posted a short video titled "Crunch: Why Crunch Has to Die" as a whole fun topic of discussion. I can't find her name without like going.
Helen
into
Hayes.
Helen
Haynes?
Hayes.
Haynes? I'm not actually sure how you pronounce that. Haynes.
I think that's Hanes, like the underwear.
Haynes.
Yeah. Helen Haynes, HR manager at Deep Silver Dambuster Studios in Nottingham, England. Or is it Nottingham?
Yeah, Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Robin Hood.
it's a real place.
She's the sheriff.
It's Maid Marian.
Oh my god. Okay,
I'm just naming names at this point.
we are so gone today.
It's the Duchess of Canterbury.
Oh my god. Okay, so basically she just went over how bad crunch is and how much other large companies are doing better that she's worked with in comparison to games. Like, seems like game companies are behind in that sense, where like they have the capabilities to like not have to worry about crunch at all, but instead they make it they have in the past made it part of their culture and created it as a badge of honor, more so for their workers to basically kill themselves over making a game instead of like having a deadline, meeting that deadline, and making having good management of the time taken to develop something.
Yep.
I think that is the most sense I will make the entire episode because my brain just clicked and remembered what the video was about.
Well done.
Thanks.
I'm impressed.
I think it's a real solid point she talks about, especially with talking about other industries and how this, for some reason, is a thing with games, which it really doesn't need to be. And I think it's all solid. And then after that, I made the mistake of reading the one comment on this article.
Yes.
I haven't read that. Sarge, paraphrase.
Oh, I can just read the entire comment because it's short. But yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, the video, it says, comes from Dambuster Studios, who are the developers behind Dead Island 2. That's the context you need. And then there was a comment saying, Dead Island 2, ? The game that has been in development hell for like a decade now. Probably not the best example of how we don't need crunch. So, yep, someone immediately being like, no, we need crunch, because the game's taken ages to come out. And it's
Yeah,
like...
that's a bad take.
That's a pretty
also, I already forgot her name. See, it's already gone from my mind.
Haynes.
Helen Haynes, Super Haynes. She she wasn't a part of their HR until recently, right? Like she was HR in like other companies, but wasn't until more recently with Deep Silver. Which is probably why this became more of a valid topic, which is yeah. Also, yeah, Dead Island 2, haha, development hell.
Yeah, I mean, I feel as well there's a bit of a problem with gamers such as us being like, this game took ages to come out, therefore it's a problem. Because there are games which have slow development but still aren't in development hell, and then there's other games which actually do land in development hell. And I don't think we can just say, oh, it's been this amount of time, therefore it's development hell, versus...
Later in the outline, we have an example of something that's in development perpetually.
Yes, we do. But, I lost it there.
Sorry, I interrupted with a...
Just imagine I said something amazing and all comment in the comments below how great I am for saying that.
I'm sorry. I sabotaged you, Sarge.
Ah, so insightful, Sarge.
Yes.
Insert comment here.
Perfect.
I do have something to add though.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm curious what you guys think of this as well. I wonder if like the gaming development industry would benefit from a union.
You're not allowed to say that. You're the American. Isn't that hated over there?
On the contrary, in fact, the where I work, we are a union, and they do a pretty decent job of like keeping us protected from things that happen and stuff like that.
Oh, that's it.
And I'm sure there's tons of examples of where that is not the case, because there's like everything here in the States, it's polarized one side or the other, but without any other actual like solutions to the problem. Like, here's the thing, HR, Helen, I don't trust her. And here's why. Because in my experience, HR does not give a crap about the employees. HR doesn't give a crap about you or me. They only care about the company they represent. And they're only there to make sure that the employees do not sue the big company. They don't give a crap. Maybe this is good intentions, and certainly perhaps paving the way to make a work life a little bit easier or a little bit more sustainable for game developers. But I can also see, and it'd be interesting to hear an actual game developer's opinion on this, if like some sort of like game developers union would be beneficial, or if it would do more harm than good. I'm not an expert in this field. I only have my own experiences, but it's just a thought that I had.
Before you join us again, Jared, like there was a lot of talk about Raven. Was it Raven? Which was the QA the QA testers under Blizzard who were trying to unionize. And did they succeed? I can't remember. Because they there was some just generally culturally not being treated as actual developers and just kind of being treated regardless, like as side like contractual people. So like not being quote unquote part of the team kind of thing. But also I can't, man, it's been long enough to where I don't fully remember all the details about it. Because my brain doesn't retain stuff. But I remember it was working towards something more along the lines of much more fairness across the board when it came to developers, including testers, which were put through the ringer, have been put through the ringer a lot more than other sections of developers, because they don't have a union. They can be seemingly gotten rid of for any reason at any time. And also there were like horror stories, like even with some 76 developers from one of the articles that we had several weeks ago, that they were being given older builds of the game when that build was already obsolete. So they were being charged with testing something that had already like gotten updated, so they didn't know what they were testing,
right,
or what they needed to test, basically. So
yeah, I think it could be a very beneficial thing, because I mean, how many times have we talked about in news stories about different companies just taking advantage of their workers, making them work 100-hour weeks and yada yada, this and that,
Yep.
A union would prevent that, and a union would. The publishers don't get that. This is for developers. These are for the people who are doing the hard work.
Yeah.
This to protect them from the publishers and the people with the money. No Man's Sky might not have happened the way it did. Cyberpunk 2077 might not have happened the way it did, and however many countless games may not have happened the way they did if these developers weren't pushed to release games before they were released because of being pressured by the publishers.
Also, being pushed to work more hours is not more hours of productive work.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Especially in a creative field where you can't just kind of half-ass it and it all works out fine.
Or if we can use CD Projekt Red's example that they still use for their development style, which is chaotic. In the video that I linked also, which is not good. If you have a project and a deadline, chaotic is not a term you want to use.
That's pretty standard for like any kind of business. Chaos is usually not a good thing.
So that's one of the like buzzwords that they use that still stick out to me, that like I'm annoyed that they still use them, because it's just like, yeah, well it did still work on The Witcher 3 in some aspects. Like it did not work for Cyberpunk, and you need to learn that. Sorry, I'm going back to ranting about Cyberpunk.
It's okay. All roads lead to Game of the Year edition Cyberpunk 2077.
All roads lead back to Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I've actually already linked something which is going to relate to Cyberpunk in a few more news articles, so let's move on so that we can avoid Cyberpunk for about 10 minutes.
Okay. Cool. You take it away, Sarge.
GTA 6 got leaked, and I have only seen negative takes about this.
Yeah.
Constantly, because...
In what context? In what sense?
My only proper social media I use is Twitter, and thanks to Caedo, thank you very much, Caedo, I don't have the sidebar of the trending stuff. So my news these days comes from the people I follow. And a lot of those are like people within the games industry, like devs, writers, even a publisher or head of studio kind of thing. And pretty much universally, they were all tweeting about how leaks harm the reputation of a game, they stress out devs, they give a lot of sort of false information or false ideals of what the game is going to be like. There's not really an upside, except for from the person who leaks it, who gets all the clout, which is all that matters.
Yeah. And people are dumb enough generally speaking, to see a leaked video of a game that is years, maybe a year, maybe years away from actually being released. Seeing that raw alpha footage and being like, oh my god, this game looks horrible.
Yep.
You know, not
I mean,
realizing...
I was walking down the street, I heard that in the exact same voice.
Dude came out of the pub. He was out of his mind.
He just finished a pint. My god. Can't believe you just done that. No, this has been a really actually interesting thing. Like, leaks happen. We've all seen it happen. It happens all the freaking time.
Yeah.
I'm really having a hard time figuring out what actually happened, though. I've heard that it was an ex-employee. I've heard that it was a random hacker and that they're, you know, demanding money. But then I've heard that it was a fake hacker that they did themselves to publicize, you know, the P word. Publicity. I swear I haven't been drinking. Publicize. Thank you, me.
Okay,
I've heard lots of different things. It's just really weird. Like, normally you just hear, oh, a game leaked. Oh, there's some footage, and that's it. But this has got
There has been news on this.
Yes.
Specifically, a 17-year-old in Oxfordshire. I was pausing for laughter there.
That was one of the most British town names I've ever heard.
17-year-old in Oxfordshire has been arrested in connection with GTA 6 leaks, because I believe they also threatened or, said they'd done a leak to Uber as well, so the FBI was after them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So...
Interesting, okay.
Have we, this is still an ongoing story, so we don't really know much other than some British kids being arrested.
Yeah, and we're also a day behind because this gets published a day after we record, so...
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever we're reporting on could have changed.
Yep.
on this story. But basically, some 17-year-old kid who is a genius hacker apparently has been arrested over the leaks of GTA 6 stuff as well as Uber stuff.
Huh.
Which is very interesting.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm still looking forward to playing some GTA 6. Man, I fairly enjoy the series.
I think the series is fine, but I mean, I'm not that into my third-person games. I know there's first-person potentially in GTA 5, but it's very, like, slow and clunky. It still feels like you're playing third-person even though you're in first-person.
I want to make a shirt. I want to make a shirt that quotes Sarge.
Didn't do it.
And then just has a screenshot of all the third-person games he's played.
Hey, I've played quite a few third-person games, but when it's like a third-person shooter specifically, that's when it's the worst. Because then I know what an FPS feels like. An FPS feels right to me, but then I'm suddenly over the shoulder of the person I am. It's wrong. It's just wrong.
It's so great.
You know what else doesn't look right?
Oh, okay.
Games that are still being developed and worked on.
No. It's a continuation of the same story.
Yeah. But we'd kind of got a bit off topic, so
we did.
My
Good
transition
job,
is
Sarge.
actually just bringing us back on course.
Way to put us back where we're supposed to be.
But chaos.
Yeah. So, developers, wonderful developers, decided to respond in kind to those that were like, this alpha footage looks like doo-doo, with their own alpha footage.
Yeah.
Showing and proving that the finished product sometimes looks nothing like the alpha of a game or the early build of a game. Which I think is awesome. Like, I think especially those who are just players of games sometimes need to be, reminded that what they see as an end result or a finished result may be very different from where it started.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or can be extremely different from where it started. There's the article that we linked. I didn't realize we could just keep scrolling and scrolling.
There's a very long article. There's a lot of examples.
decided to post these, because man, that's so many.
I mean, mostly it's just a case of showing side-by-sides of an incredibly basic-looking game or game area, and then the game actually at the like launch trailer sort of time.
Yeah.
And how there's just like, oh, all of the detail has been added between. Because why are you going to be testing stuff with every little hint of detail like a year or so before the game's even out? You need to get the fundamentals in place, work on more aspects of it, and then you can start like adding in every single minute extra thing. Which is why games don't look great early on.
Gotta start with them building blocks.
The same also applies for anyone who's ever watched like a really good drawing being made, like in drawing streams or like time lapses or stuff, where you just start out with a basic outline, and there's a bit more detail, and a bit more detail, then it starts looking really good, and then it looks amazing at like the final stretch when they do these tiny little bits of shading which suddenly bring it to life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, that isn't possible without all the stuff that happened beforehand.
Yeah.
True.
Like the face, it's a circle with a couple lines.
Yeah.
I particularly like that.
I think that's an awesome response, though. You know, sometimes developers respond to their own games with sequels and just get rid of the first one.
Yeah. Oh.
I tried to land it. I tried. That's like that was like a 5 out of 10.
I mean, you didn't break your legs on the landing, so well done.
Yeah. Who wrote?
So,
did you write this one, Sarge? Overwatch is dead. Long live Overwatch.
yes. So, Overwatch, the last day of Overwatch 1, as we're now going to have to call it, is the 2nd of October. So, literally a week away, I want to say? Yeah, 1 week from when this launches. This video pops out. This video is uploaded. Whatever. 1 week.
Published is the word you're looking for.
Yes, published. 1 week left of Overwatch 1. And then the game is just going offline. And as an online-only game, it's just dead. Overwatch is dead. The reason for that is because Overwatch 2 is launching on the 4th of October-ish. Could be the 3rd, depending on where you are in the world, apparently. But, yeah, so a day and a half later, I think it's 27 hours, they say? Yeah, 27-hour downtime they're planning, and then Overwatch 2 appears. Which will then be the only Overwatch, so do we just call it Overwatch? Because Overwatch won't exist anymore, they'll just be Overwatch.
I think you're thinking too hard about it, Sarge.
No. Nobody else is thinking hard enough about this. This is very important. The thing is, as well, Overwatch 2 looks very similar to the first Overwatch. There's, like, it is updated, but it is very much just, like, an upgrade of the first game. They're not doing anything, like, crazy new with this.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be what you would expect. There have been some, like, controversies about the unlocking the heroes, because to do it for free takes about 1 billion hours, apparently.
Oh, that's right, because they're switching to free-to-play as well.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Loot crates.
I mean, they're getting rid of loot boxes.
They're not doing loot boxes.
Yeah,
Really?
Battle Pass and the, like, in-game shop thing. So, yeah, but apparently the Battle Pass is, like, real slow, from what people can tell. So it's going to take, like, 1 billion matches to get the hero you need, and a lot of the complaints have been about how Overwatch is a hero shooter, where countering other hero picks is super important. So especially early days, it is going to be pay to win. Because you just pay for the hero you need so you can win the match.
Cool.
Yeah, so... I also don't know anyone who's like really excited about Overwatch 2, because I do feel like it's been overshadowed by the fact that the first Overwatch is just going away, so if you're someone who plays it regularly, you can't for a little bit. And the second Overwatch has this new system, which is gonna, like, make it difficult to win and put you on a back foot early days.
Yeah. I don't know how... Because I did look it up just before I started ranting about, you know, what if there was no cross progression? Man, that was hard to say. But there is, from the first game to the second game. Oh,
okay.
So if you are, like, linked to Battle.net, your progression can be moved over to the second game, which is nice. I was under the assumption that Blizzard was going to do a Blizzard thing and just be like, nope, screw you. You start over. Because we've seen that. But thankfully it's not that, because they want to keep their player base, the player base that they have, to some degree.
Yeah, wasn't Overwatch 1 all like skins and emotes and stuff in terms of unlocks?
Yes. So I found a little infographic thing that says like what's going to be transferred, and that's cosmetics, stats, presets, and rank. But so I'm under the impression that stats and rank are going to help determine like whether you unlock things from the get-go, or you have to like, if you start over, you have to like work your way up, like you guys were talking about.
I'm curious if I'll do it that way.
I'm curious about that too, but I don't, because they're doing a season thing too, like, are those stats even gonna matter? like, yeah, I transferred my stats, it's gonna matter this season and no other season, because it's gonna like reset or whatever, or rank wise, I mean. So I don't know. But I'm also not terribly invested in anything Blizzard related, so
yeah. I'll be honest, with the news of Overwatch being like free to play, or Overwatch 2 being free to play, I was like, oh, I might pick it up. And then as soon as I heard about the Battle Pass and the hero unlocks, I was like, oh no, I don't want to just lose. So I won't.
What?
There's so many other things you can play, Sarge. So many other things.
Yeah.
So many others.
Like Diablo Immortal.
Why? You just tainted the podcast.
Yes, I did.
Bale, is that you? Yeah. That's Bale. I saw him. I think we're done with the Overwatch topic, so let's move on to another IP that has just gobs of money, just so much money.
It's ridiculous.
More money than most game projects. In fact, maybe all of them.
Yes. All of them, in fact. So what we're talking about here is a little update on Star Citizen, which we do every few months or so, because it's now hit the milestone of over $500 million.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yep.
Specifically, the grand total as of a few days ago was $500,121,052.
That's so much money.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of money, and because it's so much, I linked the Wikipedia article list of most expensive video games to develop, which includes development cost and marketing costs and stuff. And the Star Citizen, it hasn't even been updated. They just put it as 400 plus for the total cost. And yeah, I've left it like that because it's still being developed. Interestingly, number 2 on the list, Cyberpunk 2077.
Weird.
And a large part of that comes down to the marketing cost, because development for that was 174 million, marketing was 142 million.
Wow.
So yeah, they
Dang.
spent a lot of money on the marketing.
That's so much money on marketing, dude.
Yep. But total cost being 316 million.
Where's the... Oh, there it is. Okay, you had the second link there.
Yes.
So even marketing costs for Star Citizen, despite like how much they have in general, is not even remotely close to what Cyberpunk spent.
No. It's less than half.
It's less than half of what Cyberpunk devs spent on promotion and marketing, which is ridiculous. But I guess also Star Citizen is not promoting their game because it's not finished.
No. And they don't seem to need to promote it as well. They don't. They've got more money than like any other game ever got for funding. So
yeah, word of mouth is just working its magic. One of my favorites, Final Fantasy VII. That's up there.
I like the fact that Final Fantasy IX is on here as well, the best of the Final Fantasy games.
Oh, look at you.
Which had a development cost of $40 million, which is still on the list, which is crazy, because this isn't a long list we're looking at here. You very quickly see a drop-off where there's about a dozen games with over $100 million total cost. and then it just drops down a lot.
Yeah.
Because it turns out most games probably don't need that much. Well, I say that much to get made. They only need like $10 million, which we all just have in our back pockets.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But it is crazy just how high a few games go. And the fact that, the third ranking on the total cost is Modern Warfare 2 with $250 million, which is half of what Star Citizen's got so far.
Well, should we move on to Fallout stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I
An
guess so.
expansion that you don't have to pay $500 million to play.
Yay!
Yeah.
But it may break your game.
No.
What?
I mean, when you say break, just crash it, probably.
Yeah.
Unless this is like someone being really evil.
That'd be funny. Jared, what is this thing?
This is some Fallout 4 news. More specifically, a mod that is a DLC-sized fan-made expansion that I just happened to see and thought it would be cool to bring up because we love mods on this PIPCAST so much.
They fixed the game!
They gonna fix the game. They can't fix mods can't fix my life though.
Stop being real. We're not supposed to be real.
Anyways, no. I guess from the research that I did, this is actually like a second part of a larger mod that adds an entire new like faction and everything called the Varangian Guard. I feel like this isn't going to appeal to people who like myself who are into like quote unquote lore friendly mods, which when I mod my games I try to keep. This has got a lot of like super tactical gear based on some actual like modern time equipment and stuff, which would probably not have existed in the Fallout universe on its own. But it looks cool, and I think actually one of the cooler things about it is that you can actually finish the main game through the new faction, the Varangian Guard or whatever, like you can with the Minutemen and a Brotherhood of Steel or whatever. Like it actually allows you to finish the game through this new faction with voiced dialogue and scripted things and stuff, and it seems highly kind of like this mixture of almost Star Wars bounty hunter themed, but also like real life tactical spec ops kind of a thing. I've had a really hard time trying to pinpoint exactly what they're going for, but there's literally a picture of Boba Fett on the Nexus mods page, so I don't know. It seemed kind of cool. I mean, how often do we get like big DLC sized fan made mods? We get them every now and then, and I've not tried this one, so I can't say if it's any good. Like I said, it's probably not one that I would normally play, but maybe someone out there is interested in this sort of thing and wants to try it, and maybe someone who's listening can let us know if it's any good.
Let us know if it's good. I probably won't try it.
Yeah, but I mean,
I definitely would try it.
What's that? You said you definitely would try it?
No, won't.
Would try. Okay, you hear that, guys?
No, you can't make me.
DM Sarge all of your mod suggestions for his next playthrough. It'll be a modded one.
No.
That's right.
No.
But yeah, that's it. That's it.
It's the make my game unrecognizable playthrough.
Oh, this,
like,
yeah.
You won't even put the title in the description of the game. He'll just say it's a game, and you'll get to determine whether or not it's like Skyrim or Fallout.
Yeah, I'm genuinely tempted as like an April Fool's video to do like my first ever modded playthrough episode 1 and just record myself playing a completely different game, but try and find something that's similar enough seeming to like a Fallout or Skyrim. But I could maybe trick a few people.
Oh, one of the games I've been playing recently would fit the bill, I think.
Excellent.
Be really great. So something that's not a mod, maybe more of an official capacity kind of update thing, which is Fallout 76, the Pitt Expeditions released.
Yes.
Finally.
It did. It is out.
One of
End
us
of
played
conversation.
I think you're the only one that played it, right, Sarge? Jared, did you play it?
Jared.
I haven't made it that far.
Oh, damn. I figured you would have. Here's the thing, Jared's the one out of the three of us who's been playing the most Fallout 76 recently.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm apparently the one who has played it, and it's good, but not great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, I'm hearing a lot of people go, oh, it's just daily ops with a couple of extra steps, but it's more than daily ops. The missions, yes, are just going and doing these quests. They're not timed, but they are. You have to go to a location, and you have to do some, like, daily quests at the White Springs, which is now filled with responders. You have to do a few quests for them to power up the vertibird in order to go to the pit and do a little quest there, be it saving some people, destroying some stuff. Just a small little quest, but with some optional objectives and rewards like the daily ops. However, not timed, which means you can go about it a bit more casually and get to talk to the inhabitants of the pit. And there is a lot of lore added in. And I've heard people talking about how, like, upper management, they're thinking that could be the Enclave that is being hinted at, and there's a few theories going around, and there's a lot of new characters. And ultimately, it seems like a good update, but I uninstalled the game because I'm done with 76 at this point, and it wasn't anything new enough to keep me.
Dang.
So Sarge is just done.
Straight uninstalled.
Yeah, I wanted to very much front load that with a lot of positivity about it because it's genuinely not bad. But I've played like probably a bit shy of 2,000 hours of 76 at this point.
God.
Maybe a little less, maybe like 1,600 to 2,000, somewhere in that range. And it's like, I know how this goes.
Yep.
I just run around and shoot the stuff quickly because it's all about loot and whatever half the time. And while some of the characters I was like, oh, I'd kind of like to know you. There was a Brotherhood member over at the White Springs area and I was like, oh, you've probably got some cool lore and stuff. But I'm not enough into my lore or enough into my loot to care enough about the update. Like, if you really like lore, there's a whole bunch of new stuff to be learning about in this update. If you really like loot, I've seen my Discord, the Fallout 76 chat, has been going off with people talking about the chainsaws, which you can now get as legendary, which is great.
Oh.
Yeah, I literally only used it in the beta.
Yeah.
When playing with like Caedo and Kai. I was like, a chainsaw! Yep. I think I did the same with the drill as well.
Yep.
Where both of those I was like, oh, sweet! And then it does like no damage. But now they actually do decent damage, which is great.
Oh my god.
So they spawn at high levels too, so the update has definitely improved things, but it's still the same game.
Mm-hmm. It's still the same loop that you've been doing for years. Years at this point.
If you enjoy the game, there's more of it for you. If you don't enjoy the game, there's more of it for you to not enjoy.
I'll tell you what, I do and don't enjoy it.
I would genuinely recommend both of you to at least try out Expeditions and probably talk to a few of the NPCs as well, because that's like the only thing I'm close to regretting is not talking to more of the characters, because there's a lot of dialogue to be going through.
Yeah, I have no doubt of that, because there's a whole group in the White Spring now. Yeah,
the responders have properly reformed, so they've got their full faction there.
Thing is, I think I'm pretty burnt out on 76 at this point too.
Yeah.
Like I jumped in because Eric, a patron of ours, mentioned in the 76 chat that the Brotherhood Tower prefab was finally in the shop. Something that was formerly a pay only type of promo thing. And I was like, well, guess I'm going in and getting that really quick. So I don't think I had to reinstall the game, but it needed a pretty sizable update. Jumped in, got the tower, put it up in my camp, basically replaced my shop building with a giant Brotherhood tower now that is now the shop. But that's basically all I did. I did almost nothing to do with the expeditions stuff because I was just like, I'm good. like imagine setting up setting up a garage sale or a yard sale and then just not putting up signs. It was basically that for me, like not even bothering, because it was like, I'm gonna go do something else.
I think I was benefited by the fact that I live streamed myself doing it, which
That probably helps.
pushed me
Yeah,
forward.
a little bit of motivation for thumbs up and money.
Yeah, because I went back 1.5 times after that, so I've done it twice and got like the super rare achievement for completing both of the specific Pitt missions. And then I went back one time to get some photos for a Patreon wallpaper thingies, and then the game crashed, and I was like, I'm not going to worry about booting it up again. That was fine. You go ahead and crash game, that's all good.
That's funny.
Yeah, oh geez, 0.5% of players have specifically led and completed both Union Dues and From Ashes to Fire,
Oh,
which are the two like expedition main missions they currently have available. So, yeah. That's the thing as well, you don't need to do the dailies if you just hop on someone else's team while they're doing it. But if you want to like be in charge and get the best rewards, you need to do the responder dailies to power up the burst burn and fly yourself over there.
mm-hmm.
But I don't play with other people.
It's fine, it's just you go on a public team. That's what I did.
Oh God!
No need to talk to anyone.
I don't know if I can do it.
Pugs are so good. They're so smart.
Oh yeah, it's the human race is to be idolized.
I'll go back to single player game.
I'm literally paying for the Fallout first so I can play without other people.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's how much I hate PvP or being around other players in games when I don't want them to be there. Like, I want to enjoy my Fallout experience as I feel like it should be experienced, like all of the other Fallout games, to the best of my ability. And that's unfortunately paying a little bit of money to do it. Yeah. But I feel like in the long run, I'm going to enjoy my experience.
I'm shaking my head at the paying money side and nodding at the everyone leave me alone element.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to, but you know what? I've paid for worse things.
That makes me the only person who hasn't paid for Fallout First here.
No. But there have been other things you paid for, Caedo, such as a boatload of DLC.
Yep. Nice. Thank you. Wow. Also, I did pay for Cyberpunk twice, so I'm gonna remind people to not let me live that down. No, sorry, 3 times. 3 times.
Well, now that you've said that, I'm literally walking away from this set, and it's definitely not because I need more water. It's out of outrage.
Why don't we move on to our tier list? Are we all beveraged up? Are we all? Do we all have our hydrations?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right. So, those of you who skipped ahead, congratulations. You're now at the tier list, I guess. If that's where you wanted to be. I hope that's where you wanted to be, where we're going to discuss the DLCs of Fallout and where we rank them. S tier, which is red, is the highest honors we can give them. F tier is the lowest, and we're just like, this is just straight not good. And
I'd say F tier as well as like, this makes the experience worse.
That's a good example, yeah. we can label them too. Like, F makes the experience worse. You can label it.
Long label for such a.
You can label
book.
it as such. Okay. But then that kind of just overlaps what's there, so I changed it to F again. So it's not really in full order for these. But I guess we could still just go from upper left to left to right, top to bottom.
I don't think we need to do it in chronological order. No one's going to shout at us. It's all right, Caedo.
They will. Shout at us in the comments about how we're not doing anything in order. Because we're starting with Fallout 3, and then the one after that is a Fallout 4 DLC.
Oh, the horror.
Yeah, it's awful.
Alright, so starting with Broken Steel,
Yes.
which is the Fallout 3 like DLC, which extends the main story beyond like you dying at the water purifier and lets you tag along with the Brotherhood and blow stuff up.
I think it's essential for Fallout 3.
Likewise,
Agreed.
I'm leaning towards A rather than S, despite agreeing with its essentialness, so to speak.
I was floating between them as well.
Yeah, because I think it is really good for the fact it keeps the game going on, but I also don't think the actual content it adds is anything like revolutionary and amazing. Like, it's a fun few extra quests.
Yeah.
And it God, I hate saying this. It fixes an issue, so to speak.
It fixed a game!
Like mods?
Yeah. Those
Thanks,
dang
Jared.
developers having a fix for games the developers can't make.
That's why we have you here.
Glad I could help.
Yeah, I'll actually agree with that, because like broken steel is what increased the cap too, right? To 30.
Yeah.
So we got perks out of it too. We also, in vanilla, level 20 perks was like the end of your perks, so you had to like pick and choose. But then once they increased the cap, you just became an overpowered god because you could pick all of them. Even though Fallout 3 was kind of that way with level 20s as well, like you kind of became a god regardless.
You
also,
start the game like stupidly weak and just go god tier by the end of it.
yeah. There was the very interestingly designed and developed tramway, the presidential tram to the Air Force Base. The destroying the mobile base crawler is iconic. It's really cool. And there's also, it also gave you a choice. More of a choice, it felt like, than what you got at the Purifier at the end of the vanilla game. Where
100% more of a choice than bad ending, die, good ending, die, no ending, game crashed.
Yeah. So, and also like some of the post-game stuff that they decided to add. Just like in the world in general, like there's even something there, like if you didn't blow up Megaton, which I tend to blow up Megaton like every time, if you didn't blow up Megaton, there is like a special like Children of Adam quest to do as well, where they're outside and they actually have glowing ones like in the basement in the building outside, where that's how they baptize themselves or whatever. It's been a while since I played it, but like I haven't played that quest a lot of times because you have to wait until the end of the game to do it. But I just thought that was cool. And then the Aquapura too. Like that
showing up is kind of cool.
That changes, that I think that still does change based on like whether you use the FEV capsule or not. I don't remember to what degree, but I think it's still cool. Some of the other stuff, like the extra Brotherhood stuff that you get to do, like going and getting the Tesla coil for the like Tesla cannon prototype or whatever. It's all right.
Yeah.
So it's got some ups and downs in that DLC, but again, I think it is essential for the full experience of Fallout 3. Even though you mentioned that the vanilla ending of Fallout 3 is like you make the right choice or the wrong choice, you die no matter what, or the good choice or the bad choice, I guess. The overall theme of the game was like, you know, the idea of sacrifice, like James sacrificed himself so you could go on and sacrifice yourself.
I mean, James's sacrifice was also stupid.
It was also very stupid, yes. But I could tell that they really wanted to make that the driving theme, but because it was Fallout 3, like the Wasteland is a very self-serving place. So experiencing the wasteland for like all the stuff you get to explore out there and stuff like that, like maybe that kind of worked against it. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting into the weeds and philosophical bullcrap about like what Fallout 3's theme actually should be, but I'm okay with A. So let's talk about Automatron for Fallout 4.
Yeah. Building robots, building robots.
Building robots! And a quest line.
Yeah.
Just one. At least I think it's just one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's only one proper quest line. I think you get like a few added miscellaneous quests maybe as well. Like the ones which don't even pop up as a quest, just as a find VI bot sort of style thing.
Yeah. I'm thinking C for this one.
Oh, I was gonna say B.
Why would it be B?
Because robots are awesome and you get to build them. That's the thing, I think the building robots element is really cool, but the quest side is fairly bad. Well, not even bad. The quest is good. I think the quest line it adds is good, but it is short and not much to it.
Yeah.
But I love building like a sentry bot with missile launchers or whatever.
Yeah. Essentially,
I think Jared's gonna need to break the tie on us here.
Break the tie, Jared.
Is there an option between B and C?
No.
Dang it. Oh man, I barely remember this one.
Oh, damn.
That's kind of gonna be my problem for this entire segment. Is I don't remember a whole lot of the DLCs because I haven't played a lot of the older games in quite a long time.
I hate that you just called Fallout 4 an older game, but then I'm like, it is a fair few years old now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but
2015.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
I was a teenager.
You guys make some compelling arguments. Let's. You know what? I'm going to go with C because I feel like there's probably better.
All right.
He's right.
I feel
right.
like I feel like there are other DLCs that, even though robots are cool, and yeah, I'm gonna pronounce it like freaking Twilight Zone.
That's how you should say
it. I do feel like there are better DLCs that would be better than Automatron, but not necessarily super amazing ones either. So I feel like we need to reserve B for something else.
Yeah.
All right. Well, time for our first S tier one, right, guys?
You mean F tier?
Oh, Fallout 4 contraptions.
This is for a niche group of people.
Do any of us remember even one item that definitely was added in contraptions?
Conveyor belts.
But, oh yeah, conveyor belts were added too. Yeah. I was gonna say the ball runners for making like those fun little marble tube contraptions. That basically Rube Goldberg machines was like the thing for this one, and like even the conveyor belts and like industrial stuff, like you had to have a pretty good grasp of like how the engineering in the settlement system worked.
Yeah. They're not like super easy to build in a way that actually helps you.
No. I know I made a teddy bear maker at one point. I feel like that allowed you to make your own ammo press too, right?
Yeah.
Is that
albeit ammo was like real expensive to craft.
Yeah.
Because I've tried before of crafting it, but it's a bit of a struggle.
Ultimately,
it's a bit of a challenge run, you might say.
I think I'm putting it in F tier because ultimately it didn't really change much about the game. Like, just more stuff that I wasn't going to use that kind of crapped up my settlement system.
Yeah. I mean, the fact you have to pay for it, I'm happy to go for it in F tier. Like, if it was a free expansion, I'd say, it's D tier. It's not very good, but at least it didn't cost. But I'm pretty sure it was like at least a few bucks, right?
Pretty sure.
It was 5 or 10. I don't remember what.
But, okay,
Don't
I'm
remember which.
gonna check the Fallout 4 page now.
Oh!
But so were horse armors, bro.
Yeah, and
Look how
horse
that
armor would
turned
go
out.
in negative F.
Yeah. Horse armor would be, like, just thrown directly into my recycle bin.
Alright, yeah. Contraptions would have been about $5, because it's £4 over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is... if you really wanted it, yeah, it's fine. I guess $5 is fine, because there's a lot of stuff...
Either of you ever play the game Satisfaction?
Satisfactory?
No, but I've watched a bit of it.
It's a pretty fun game, actually, but it's very much like this. It's a whole game based around this DLC. Conveyor belts galore.
You're talking about Satisfactory, not Satisfaction,
That's
right?
what I meant to say.
Oh, okay, all right.
What did I say? Satisfaction?
It's.
Hey.
I mean, it's
Have you guys
that.
ever felt satisfied in any way whatsoever in your life? No, me neither.
No.
Play this game. Maybe you'll feel it, maybe you won't, but you'll have a game.
And moving on.
One that's definitely going to score high.
Yep.
Far Harbor.
Yep. I was waiting for Sarge to pronounce it.
Wait, Far Harbor?
Yeah.
How do you
Far
pronounce
Harbor?
it?
Far Harbor. Because you got
Fahaba.
Fahaba.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Wow. Wow.
Just F's, A's, and a H. And O and a B, sorry.
You forgot to say "itn't it" at the end. Jeez. Bahaba, itn't it?
I'm genuinely confused at this point what accent you're trying to drag on here.
When it was promoted, like, I can't remember who said it. Like, it may have been promotional material, it may have been just Lone Vault Wanderer just trying to own it so hard. But I'm pretty sure it was a character in the DLC who pronounced it that way. And like it was used in the promotional material.
I could see it in a like thick Aussie accent as being Far Harbor.
Well, it's very similar to like Boston accent, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, we had Far Harbor, you know.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because Boston.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and tea parties.
Accent aside,
And Texas.
the DLC was really good.
S rank.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear a crazy fact about Far Harbor? I've never played it.
Oh my god.
What?
I've never played Fallout 4 long enough to ever get to that DLC. I would install it with the intention of getting there, and by the time I was leveled up to go there or whatever, I'm like, I don't really feel like playing Fallout 4 anymore.
That's crazy as well, because I've watched you like mod Fallout 4 a ton to make it like spooky vibes, and yet you've not gone to the spooky island.
I know. Believe me, I understand how the
That's
irony
funny.
is here
That's
and
really funny.
present.
Well, we're putting it in S tier.
Yep.
So that means you have to play it at some point.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to put it in haven't played.
Okay. Far Harbor, I also have some rose-tinted glasses, but the reason, I think, personally, the reason that Far Harbor works so well is because it was DLC size, not a full, like, game area size.
Yeah.
Because if you had a full, like, just single biome of just that, like, it would probably get old really fast. And, you know, the doom and gloom of the island. Sometimes you just want to have a good time. So that's where Nuka World comes in.
Yeah. What if there was a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola? Wouldn't that be the cheeriest place in all the world? So I'm going to be fighting for S tier. I love Nuka World. I'm a sucker for raiders, though. I know that.
I will put it in. I think my vote might be A, actually, because the amount of options just on the faction side between Far Harbor and Nuka World, there was a lot more like activity in that sense. At least it felt like in Far Harbor than there did in Nuka World. Because in Nuka World it was more like, to put this guy's flag up, they own it now.
Yeah, I think that Far Harbor did do the like main faction, main quest line thing better. The thing I like about Nuka World is how there's an end game to Nuka World as well, with taking over the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Well,
which also enhances like the main game by letting you have more of an evil experience.
Maybe I'm leaning towards S now that I'm thinking about it more though, because when it comes to environments, Nuka World is extremely diverse.
Yeah, well, the park does a great job for that, because they just got to make, here's some different themed areas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jared, I notice you're being quiet. Words? Hey, guys, I've not played Nuka World. Come out of your mouth right now. I swear.
Hey, guys, you want to hear a really interesting fact about Nuka World?
No.
Don't think I've actually played that one either.
No.
So here, I was thinking about it. I was like, why haven't I played these? And here's what a conclusion that they came to. By the time those DLCs came out, I was done playing with Fallout 4. It took too long, and I had moved on. And every time that I've ever tried to reinstall the game, which I've done countless times, modded the hell out of it, and by the time I even got close to maybe even getting to those DLCs, I'd already burned out on playing the game. And I just have never made it back there. I've tried, and I just never quite make it. I feel bad, but
you should feel bad.
Because it's a game.
No, feel bad.
Nope. Can't make me.
Genuinely, if the problem is like being too low a level, I might even recommend that you boot up Fallout 4 and console command your character to like level 30, and then just do the 2 DLCs.
Just to do it.
Or we could just send Jared one of our bazillion saves that we have. Like, this is going to be really easy for you. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, but I couldn't in good faith do that because I'm one of those that, like, I'm vehemently against cheating. Not to say that that is cheating, but the same effect happens.
You like doing it yourself.
Cheating. I like to do it myself because I believe in the reward of completion and the journey of the game. And
well, I mean, if you do want to do it the non-cheating way, instead of the super easy playthrough, you can go for the super difficult playthrough, because both of those locations you can go to at level 1.
Yeah.
The quest marker won't show up, but you can run to the Nuka World entrance and go through the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
You can go to Kenji and travel to Far Harbor. You can do those things super early. It just makes the game, like, real difficult.
It might be actually pretty fun.
I'll do it eventually. I'm sure that I will. Especially right now because I'm like kind of in a Fallout kick lately with 76 and stuff. I'm like, now might be my chance to do these things that I haven't done.
Yeah,
before I lose interest.
Downgrade to the game that doesn't have a radial menu.
I never used the radial menu in 76.
What?
Yeah. You use hotkeys.
Why?
Yeah. Hotkeys, because it's one button instead of a scroll button and then a button.
Well,
it's less buttons.
No, you don't need to. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just scroll and then click.
Yeah, that's two things. Jared and I have one thing. We hit a button and it happens.
Oh my god.
You have twice as many inputs to make.
I use both, because sometimes I forget after not going back to Fallout 76 for months. And then I have to look at it.
The only reason I use the scroll button on 76 because I do have Fallout first, so I can place a little tent down wherever I'm at.
There you go.
But you can only do that from, at least from what I can tell, from the little quick scrolly menu thing.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That's the only place you can do.
Well, I'll complain about the quick heal button instead.
Okay. Wait.
Because 4 doesn't.
It's just one button.
Because 4 doesn't. 76 has one where 4 doesn't.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just hotkey myself Stimpaks instead.
Yeah, I know you can do that too.
All right, we're going off track. And we're an hour and a half recording, and we're only 5 into this list.
Lightning round.
Nuka World. S tier or A tier?
S tier.
S tier.
I thought about the enjoyment I get just from looking at Nuka World, and I put it in S tier.
Like it. All right. We're now on to Vault Tech Workshop.
I'm A or B on this one.
Damn, you're going higher than I thought you would.
Listen, I only remember so many NPCs from Fallout 4. Clem is one of them.
Okay, Clem is good.
Clem is the happy to help vault dweller who joins your vault experiment with no questions asked.
Yeah. I will say this is a workshop DLC done right, because it adds on a quest and explains how you learn how to build these things and all of that. It is done well. I was going to put it as, like, I was hovering between C and D.
Would you B then?
Because it's a pretty small one.
But is it better than Automatron, though?
I don't think it is better than Automatron. There's less to it than Automatron. Like,
To me-
Clem's cool. And
Yeah.
it's fun with the Overseer, but
To me, it feels more like a Sims expansion.
yeah.
You know, like you're not really getting a whole lot. You're just kind of getting some buildy stuff. Can you build robots in Vault Tech?
No, but you
Without
can
Automatron.
you can build spin cycles
Wow.
for your
Who needs a robot
vault
follower with
dwellers
a
to ride?
minigun when you can do some basic exercise?
I had fun with Vault 88 stuff.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad.
We'll say low C. Is low C work?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, can't put it above Automatron.
It's at least at the same level or maybe a little below. Because robots are cool.
Robots are so cool.
Wayside Workshop. I did a video on this.
Oh,
It's it's either C or D. I'm thinking like D.
D.
Yeah.
It's
You can make people fight each other if you want.
yeah.
However, you can also catch as many cats as you want and have them in your settlement.
Like,
be a
don't
crazy
they
cat
boost
lady?
the happiness by like one apiece or something as well?
I think so.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I seem to remember videos back in the day where every single workshop that had 100 happiness, you just go over and it goes meow meow. Because you spawn and then every cat meows at you.
And then you nuke them.
Oh no.
No.
I wonder if you could nuke them and then just watch the happiness go from like 100 to 0.
Everybody would just be sad.
Oh,
Then all get out their guns and start shooting at you.
Oh,
jeez. Well,
and you nuke them too.
Wasteland Workshop is fun to mess around with, but it doesn't add any quests or stuff.
It is
So I
more
think
fun
D's a
than
fair one.
contraptions, for
Yes.
sure. But it didn't add too terribly much to like
Yeah.
make things more useful. Because you got to think too, like I don't know if Far Harbor did, but Nuka World did add the Raider stuff as well
Yep.
in the workshop. So there was a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that.
I know Far Harbor definitely added some decorative stuff. I'm not sure about anything like practical to build in settlements.
Oh yeah, like crab traps and stuff,
Yeah.
or lobster trap, whatever. The weird helmets that the Raiders there use.
Well, that's all of the Fallout 4 DLC ranked. And none of it went in A or B. It was either incredible, yeah, it's fine, or this isn't particularly good.
Which kind of describes Fallout 4. Like,
Man,
there's
it?
times that I
wanna
really
tell
like
you off,
it.
but you're right.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's just my experience. It's like sometimes it's like really great and you having a lot of
Yeah.
fun, and sometimes it's like, what the frick?
It's like
Yeah.
Sarge is mad that you're right.
We're not so different, you and I.
All right.
You're right, but I'm gonna be upset about it.
Yeah. Let's move on to New Vegas.
Yeah, New Vegas, and then Fallout 3 in the middle, and then New
And
Vegas
then
some more.
76, and then New Vegas, and then Fallout 3, and then 76. It's almost in order. It's good enough. Alright, so first up is Dead Money, a DLC that players love to hate to love.
Ooh, I want to make people mad. S tier.
Ooh.
I'll make people mad. Get mad.
I was gonna say A tier.
Oh.
Jared, what was your gut reaction to Dead Money?
remember liking it, but God, it's been even longer since I played freaking Vegas. Can you guys explain it to me a little bit?
It's the casino heist where if you mess up, everyone dies.
Or if you mess up even prior to that, you die a lot.
Yeah. Or if you pick the I'm gonna be a jerk dialogue options, you die. Yeah.
You stay in the cloud too long, you die.
Yep.
It's a lot of
You get to chop off
dying.
the dead enemy's limbs, you die.
It's a lot of dying,
It's
fellas.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
so
the
fun,
reason
though.
it's a controversial one. It's like a proper hardcore. You get all of your equipment taken away from you at the start of the DLC. You then have to like really scavenge and sneak around. It's very tense, very dark, gloomy. You play it on hardcore mode. You take constant damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a real struggle, but it's also the best Fiend DLC in my opinion.
Yeah,
Throughout the entire franchise.
for sure.
So it was between S and A.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, I don't remember it, which I don't remember it too well because and it makes me think that I probably didn't play it that much, maybe because I didn't enjoy it as much.
Mm.
And I know I played Fallout New Vegas quite a bit back in the day, but I'm
You
gonna
also
have to go
can't.
with.
You also can't go back to it once you finish it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with A because again, also I feel like maybe there's a better DLC that would beat Dead Money.
Yeah, I think A is a good spot for it because it is really good, but the difficulty does put it off for a lot of people.
I'm putting it above Broken Steel though, because it's definitely better than Broken Steel.
Yeah,
I feel
think
really
it's great, but it can be like difficult for people to get into, which I think is a punishing factor because you need the right sort of character and you need to be good at the game.
I was gonna mention that too. Like, if there's certain things you just didn't build into, like, you're just gonna have a harder time no matter what. And like the companions did help with that in some ways, but if players aren't paying attention to the companions and what kind of benefits they give, you're still gonna have a hard time. like God, for example, has the like In My Footsteps perk, I believe, which gives you light step. Like, you just get light step, which is very helpful when there's traps literally everywhere.
Yeah.
But also, if you just come in with light step, you can just solo most of it without any care of what you're stepping on. And there, I think there's a lot of the survival related perks that help a lot too, with like, you know, keeping yourself healed from like food items and whatnot.
Yeah. The very limited healing items you have.
Luck, for example, for getting your freaking casino voucher that makes you like rich for life. Not to mention the gold bars as well, but like it would give you like 1,000 every week or something like that if you got the voucher.
Maybe.
Like outside
it's
of
a way to get rich.
the place, yeah.
I was about to say easy, but no, not easy.
No.
It's a way to get rich by doing something super difficult. But anyway, we have ranked it. On to the next one. Back to Fallout 3 for Point Lookout.
When we're talking about memorable ones, this one's not super memorable to me.
Okay.
I don't
remember
know
a lot
why.
about it.
I don't know why. Like, I say memorable, but like I do remember like the various quests and aspects of the game, but none of them really felt like I was invested, really. Maybe it's more that. Because like they had the tribe, for example, that ended up being like I hate saying like almost a stereotype. Because they were ignorant, they were serving something clearly like much more intelligent than they were, probably because they had chunks of their brains extracted.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of like really cool like unique weapons in Point Lookout. There was the cinematic house explosion thing, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat. But overall, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not the biggest fan of most of Fallout 3's DLCs except for one of them. It could just be
Sounds like a solid B.
That's a B. I think it's a B for me.
I was gonna be fighting for it to be a B, and as I was listening to that, I was like, am I gonna have to fight him up on this, or are we getting it? But yeah, no, I think Point Lookout's a B. Like, it's a good DLC, but it's not great.
It's alright.
I had a lot of fun with it, but yeah, it's good. It's worth playing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you happen to be playing Fallout 3, you should check out Point Lookout.
Yes.
But
it could be also that, like, I'm one who usually plays on the highest difficulty, and the what are the enemies called?
I wish I could remember their name.
Which are also pretty close to just a stereotype.
That's why I wish I could remember the actual name.
Yep, I'm not gonna say what's coming to mind. But they become like massive bullet sponges, and very, very powerful and fast and difficult to deal with. So
I played Point Lookout on stream, and that actually made it really fun, because obviously it was me just panicking because there's some charging dude with a cleaver coming after me, and I shoot him like 10 times in the head, and I'm like, he's still alive.
Please stop coming at me.
Right. Next DLC, Curious Stash, going straight in F tier.
Yeah, that's F tier.
Anyone want to fight me on this?
Nope.
Nah.
It's just a few items. That's the get it from Target or whatever bonus.
Yeah.
Back in the
Not
day.
only is it just a few items, it's giving you a bunch of items early on, which are quite powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Which mean the early game suddenly is just a breeze, and you don't get as much of a feeling of starting out super weak and then becoming super strong.
Yeah.
Which I praised Fallout 3 for, and I think Curious Stash ruins that for New Vegas. I think it makes the game worse.
Yeah. And it basically makes the whole tutorial with Sunny Smiles kind of useless as well, because like you have the weathered 10mm, you have the freaking grenade rifle. Like I wonder actually
rifle. What's this junk you're having?
I wonder actually if you just bust out the grenade rifle instead, just shoot all the bottles, she'll be like, great job. Because I've meleeed them before, and that works too, so it might work with an explosion. That's funny. Okay, next one. Gunrunner's Arsenal.
Better than Curious Stash.
I'm gonna put that in D, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah. Like, it had some cool weapons and stuff, but...
It's a lot of uniques. It's a lot of uniques added to the game. But
that's literally all it does.
They're all in shops.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like, hey, if you've made a lot of money and don't know what to spend it on, ta-da!
Yeah, if you're fresh out of dead money, need something to spend all those gold bars on, you'll definitely get rid of them. That's for sure. These things, yeah, basically, these things are worth like thousands of caps, like 1,800 or more. Or 18,000 or more. Sorry, not 1,800. But there was also the issue of like after you got the DLC or like even before you knew that this was a thing, there's certain merchants that you could kill that you may want stuff from that doesn't always place their items into the Vendortron. Like if you kill Gloria Van Graff and suddenly want like the Spurtlewood 9000 or whatever it's called, which you can only get from her, I'm pretty sure. It may not show up at the Vendortron and you'll just be out of luck. So there's also the minor bugs with that. There's like a workaround for like quickly uninstalling and then reinstalling your DLC to get it to actually show up where it's supposed to, but it's really tedious to get something to appear. Whereas on PC,
speaking of something really tedious,
hey,
Honest Hearts.
Thanks for continuing it on, Sarge.
I could sense us going into like a 10-minute rant about like, oh, you uninstall this, and here's how you troubleshoot it. Hey everyone, welcome to a Caedo Genesis Guide. How to fix Gunrunner's Arsenal. No.
I'm joined by my friends.
I don't particularly like this, but I know some people really do. I've heard people say this is their favourite Fallout DLC.
Uh-huh.
Those people are wrong and need to seek help.
First of all, I think they did tribals a lot better in this than they did in the Fallout 3 one that we were just talking about, Point Lookout.
In Point Lookout. Yeah. I mean, they kind of had to, because it was all tribals in Honest Hearts. But I still find them fairly boring overall.
Yes.
Like, I don't care about any of the characters. I know some people are, like, huge stans of them, like Joshua Graham and whatever, but...
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Is it getting the D?
It's... Don't say that.
What? It's literally a category. It's called D.
I put it in C. Should we put it in the D, though?
I don't know.
Is it...
Is it better
I
than
think
robots? It doesn't sound like it's better than robots.
It's worse than robots, in my opinion.
It's worse than robots? Okay, we'll put it in D, then. We're gonna make some people mad. We're gonna make some people upset.
Good.
Honestly, wasn't expecting it to go in D. I just was scared you guys were going to go for either A or B, so I had to go in hard at the start.
No, Honest Hearts is one of the weaker ones in my mind, so...
Well, okay. We can go up to C. Is it on par with robots?
I really like robots.
I think it's good where it is, then.
Robots may not have as much choice as Honest Hearts does, though.
That's true.
Yeah, the choices in Honest Hearts are... Some tribals are going to die. You cool?
That's an oversimplification, Sarge.
Yeah, okay, it's an oversimplification, but the fact you just get, like, teleports down at the end means to me there's, like, no real consequences other than a slideshow. And I hate the slideshows are the only consequences format that sometimes happen with New Vegas.
Okay.
I want to see some actual impact while I'm playing the game.
Right.
Not be told afterwards that stuff happened.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Fine, we'll leave it in D. Also, follows Chalk is one of the most annoying companions ever.
Don't kill any bighorners. Chop, chop, chop.
He's insane. He's literally insane. Lonesome Road. That's S or A tier?
Personally, I'd go for A. Because Ulysses won't shut up. God damn it, Ulysses. What is wrong with you? But it is very good.
Yeah.
There's like real stans of this DLC out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there are people who could listen to Ulysses all day because that's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's solid. It's fun. It's like linear in a good way, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Because it goes around the whole theme of you just keep going forward, just follow this path, just keep doing it. You can go back at any time, but just keep going forward. And it works in its favour. Yeah. I'd say A tier.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Sorry.
Hey. Mothership Zeta.
S tier, baby. It's aliens.
Oh god, I want to say D tier myself.
I'm putting it in high F tier.
What? I don't think it's F tier. Like, aliens are kind of cool. And it's nice to meet some of the characters.
Fine, D tier.
Like, I'm okay with it being low D tier. But...
Low D.
Like, yeah. It's not good. I think we can agree.
It's not.
That.
It's not. However, being an equipment person, a weapons guy who likes weapons in Fallout, strongest energy weapon you can get aside from like the fire lance, which is the Nova Surge, because that thing is broken in how strong it is. But also, like, you have like almost like a short window. Wait, you can go back into that room, I'm pretty sure. But a lot of the other rooms in the ship get locked down after you like complete those areas, which is another thing I dislike about some of the DLCs in Fallout 3.
I can understand disliking that. I can also say that I've never tried to go back. Because why would I?
Yeah, true. But like when you go back, like after everything's said and done, you have access to engineering and the bridge, I think, and maybe storage, or like the abduction storage or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. Like you can't go to the rest of the ship, which is a bit of a bummer. So you have to be very attentive. And being that unique weapons look exactly like their normal counterparts, and can be just laying around, like it, it's troubling to find the good stuff and not miss it.
We've agreed it's not good. You're not gonna fight us down to F, because I think it doesn't make the game worse, and that's the bottom line.
No, it makes it worse. Sally.
No.
Sally exists.
Caedo, you have to accept that people are allowed to exist.
Nuclear winter.
Yes, nuclear winter.
C tier.
Oh.
It's a game
Jared,
mode that
what do you
worked
think?
fairly well.
Well, since I only played it that one time with you guys,
Oh.
but to
S
be
tier,
fair,
clearly then.
it was fun when I did.
Yeah.
Running around with a shotgun for no reason.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Nuclear winter was fun.
Yeah.
The problem came from like hackers, and then from that low player count, and also that the meta was never like messed around with in any way.
No.
I think it had potential to be really great as like the casual battle royale experience, but instead it got deleted.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, can't play it anymore.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you notice the what you're playing picker kind of thing has like Fallout Worlds and adventure mode, and I think that's all it has now. Oh, and the
It's got
private
four
world
separate things.
I don't look at the other things. I just go to the one that I click on that I just never noticed.
All right. You said C tier though, didn't you?
Yes.
I think I can be happy with that.
Yeah.
Like, it had potential, and it was plenty of fun. Enjoyed it while it lasted, but it's had its problems, so it died.
Yep.
Boo.
Old World Blues. I have two answers for this one.
Ooh.
S rank for the first time you play it.
Hmm?
Probably B or C tier for the second time.
Hey guys, do you like DLCs where you wander around a barren landscape with no music going on?
I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah, there's that
That's
too.
the thing that it's like popped into my head. It's yeah, it's got plenty of cool stuff, and I think you're dead on the money with it seeming like the greatest thing ever when you get to experience it the first time. But that initial conversation with the floating brains in jars at Big MT is so long.
Yeah. For
Like-
anybody who hasn't like played it for a while, just like save beforehand or like go back to your quick save, and see how long it takes to just skip all the dialogue. Not listen to it,
God.
just skip it.
Skipping
See
it's
how
gotta
long
be
it
at
actually
least 5,
takes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because listening to it, not even going through like all of the stuff, but listening, I'm pretty sure it's over half an hour.
God.
It's the longest dialogue section that you can't back out of either.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
good.
a Hideo Kojima game, am I right?
Yeah. You can even
Ah.
you can skip cutscenes in that game though.
Oh.
Can you skip dialogue sections? Wait, it doesn't have dialogue sections in the same way, does
No,
it?
they're the same thing.
Kojima games.
Dialogue
Yeah.
and cutscenes are the same.
Alright. Well, yeah, I think Old World Blues is like a potentially great DLC, which is ruined by a few things.
Yeah.
So,
Also, not knowing what a unique is. That's Old World Blues had a big problem with that.
It's the biggest sin someone could commit.
The biggest sin.
I mean, I'm happy with B tier.
Yeah.
I'll go with B.
Alright.
Agreed.
Like, 100% worth playing once, about 50% worth playing twice.
Yeah, that's a good summarization. Summarization.
Alright, Fallout 3 Operation Anchorage.
D or F.
Jared, do you remember this one at all?
I do.
Oh, what?
Oh.
What is wrong with your memory?
I don't know. I just remember the Gauss rifle.
That's the only thing he remembers from it.
And it was in
Fact,
this.
you were like, oh, the rollers on the contraptions as well. But we talk about the good DLCs, and you're like, what's this? I've never seen this thing before.
I'm sorry. I just remember it was snowy and there was Chinese communist soldiers and you had a Gauss rifle. I don't know why I remember those things.
I mean, you've described almost every element of the DLC.
Basically, yeah.
What were the options? D or F?
D or F.
Yeah. I'd say D.
I was going to say it has to be at least D, because there's no way it's worse than contraptions and couriers items.
No. Like,
At least it's content.
yeah, it's boring in the same way Mothership Zeta is. But it does add some stuff,
Fair.
and if you want them, heyo. And I do
That's fair.
think both of those are worth having experienced at one point,
Sure.
Yeah.
and then never again.
Yeah.
I agree.
On to the final Fallout 3 DLC, The Pit.
Ah, S tier.
Straight in S.
It's my favorite of the Fallout 3 ones, anyway.
I will not object.
And I won't either.
Nice.
Goes into S tier.
Easy.
I was going to say S or A, because it is really good.
Yeah.
It's
It's got a choice in the game. Even though, you know, towards the end you're like, did I make the right choice? And both of them kind of work that way, which is cool.
yeah.
That's a very Fallout thing. The environment is extremely post-apocalyptic. The enemies are scary. The equipment is fun. There's a surprising amount of things to do. It feels like open world stuff contained in a closed space. Like the collecting its thing, the arena thing, the working for either Asher or Werner, the side apartments thing on your way to the main citadel. Like it all seems like it has a purpose, I guess, for being there, and it's nice.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to do in the pit. That's a lot of fun, and also the Pittsburgh Bridge, too.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. It's so cool. Every single
That is
time I go
cool.
across it, I'm just like, yeah, we're going to the pit, and then you explode.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Don't worry. Even if I spoiled it, somebody's gonna still explode.
That's true.
Well, we're now on to just 76 expansions.
Yeah.
Oh no, we lost half our viewers. What happened?
Oh no, they're all gone. Some of these I don't think we need to. Like, I don't know why the legendary run is in here, because that's
Oh
just.
no, I have stuff to say. Well,
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Fine.
there's stuff
Fine.
to say for all of these.
Okay,
Some of
all
them
right.
will be negative.
All right. Mr.
Take it
70,
away.
Mr. Former 76 man is gonna.
I
Tell
haven't
us
done
what's
any
up.
of this stuff yet, so I really have no opinions.
I think one thing which we'll notice on this very first one, which is Wild Appalachia, is that this stuff, while a lot of it is still playable, the actual experience is going to be different now. Because
Yeah.
when Wild Appalachia first dropped, it was great. There was a run-up with this whole mystery of the sheep squatch and the imposter, and it was like, oh, the sheep squatch, everyone's out looking for it, and now this is going to be a genuine kind of spoiler. It turns out it was a robot. It was an imposter sheep squatch, which this guy made, and then it went rogue, and it'd been killing people and whatever. And it was a really cool kind of story. There was real atmosphere to it. There was a genuine mystery. And then, like a week or something later, the real sheep squatch just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that was so cool.
Being there for it was pretty awesome, I gotta say.
Yeah. I've got Fredo, one of my moderators on my streams and in the Discord and stuff, regularly cites Wild Appalachia as the best time in Fallout 76.
Really?
Because, yeah, it felt like such a community experience as well. Because everyone was, like, solving these mysteries. It was before the NPCs, so this was, like, crazy. There wasn't anything else people were doing, which probably helped a lot. But it
we
was
were still keeping each
genuinely-
other occupied.
Yeah, it was genuinely quite cool. It was cool, and it's still got some stuff in the game, including the fixer, I believe it added in, which is a beloved gun.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it actually added it in or made it legendary. One of the two.
I can't remember, but it made it definitely more viable.
Yeah, it made it a great weapon.
No, because the Imposter Chief Squatch, like that's one of the things that people would always want. Was the fixer plan?
Oh, yeah, so it added it in. Oh yeah,
so
I think it added it in,
yeah.
and then a later update actually made it so it could drop as legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I made a guide on it before it became legendary, I want to say, and then it became legendary, and that's now like my third most viewed video or something because of that.
Because it was no longer relevant. Nobody likes that when that happens.
So what are you thinking for rating?
What do you made a good argument? So like, what you start us off?
I want to put it in B tier.
Yeah,
which might sound
go for A.
Yeah, here's the thing: it's gonna sound low for all the stuff I just said, but ultimately,
I'll put it in a high B.
Yeah, it's like a good B, it's a strong B, but I feel like if I put it in with the A's, it would clearly be the runt of the litter.
Yes.
Okay. Like,
yes,
you
it
put
would.
it next to Broken Still, Dead Money, and Lonesome Road.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
fair.
and World Appalachia's here too! Like,
hey guys!
No. It's really pulling its weight in the B tier, I feel, but in A tier it's strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
now, on to the big one, Wastelanders. The update to 76, which brought back NPCs.
Yeah.
Brought back?
Well,
that insinuates they were there.
They were there, they just weren't humans. Like, this is genuinely something which pissed me off so often when people were discussing it, and they're like, the game's got no NPCs, there's no one in there. And I'm like, there's robots. Why do people always forget the robots? Just wait till they overthrow you, then we'll show it.
Yeah, Modus was there the whole time. Come on. He just killed everyone.
Yeah.
I want to put it in S.
Yeah.
Oh, you're both going for S. Okay.
I think it saves 76.
I think it, but it ultimately changed the entire experience, I think, for the better.
Yeah. I want to give it mad props as well for having the best dialogue system in all the Fallout games.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Like, it's essentially the Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas system, but just improved a little.
Yeah.
And just innovate ever so slightly on the thing that was already working really well. That's the way to do it.
Yep.
Nice.
And they had both the subtitles down below and the log on the upper left-hand side, which I like a lot.
And the fact you could move the camera around a bit as well, so you didn't have the New Vegas thing I had the other day where I was talking to someone and Boom was in the way, so then his face just took the entire screen.
Yeah.
Bit of control's nice.
It's always fun.
Alright. The Legendary Run.
Alright, what are you gonna say about this one, Sarge?
F. I'm not allowed to say this word on the podcast. Off. The Legendary Run makes things worse. It promotes grinding, which is the thing which really led me to burnout on the game. Because it just incentivizes you to keep doing the daily challenges, to log in every single day. Oh, just play this, just do this thing, just keep doing it. You want the rewards, you gotta keep doing this thing.
Come on, do your chores!
Yeah, it's come on, do your chores in the game. I do not like it.
Okay, what all did it add? Refresh my memory, because I don't remember this one much.
It's the scoreboard.
Just that it was introduced then?
Yeah, the Legendary Run was the introduction of the scoreboard.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just adding in the scoreboard, which is rewards you can get for doing daily challenges and weekly challenges and monthly challenges and all of that, and just keep going. The rewards are never anything crazy. I've said before that the rewards are only good if you're already wanting to play the game. But I'm not going to carry on playing to play the game to get rewards which are only good if I wanted to play the game initially.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I agree.
Alright. Now, the One Wasteland for All update is the one where it like matched levels of enemies to the player character, added in legendary perk cards, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It was very like a huge discussion point for a lot of the more hardcore players because it really helped to change up the meta and stuff. It is the reason that not every player in the game plays Bloodied now, because Bloodied end up getting nerfed due to the changes in this. I say nerfed loosely. Bloodied is still incredibly strong,
Yeah.
but it's no longer the only build to go for. And that's largely due to this change.
Okay. I really liked the legendary cards, but I did not like the grind attached to them. The only reason I have them where I have them now is because I had so much progress in Nuclear Winter.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody who doesn't know, the legendary perks were like a separate card system where like every 50 levels you would get like a legendary perk slot. Where you could put like extremely powerful legendary perk cards in, but you would have to recycle cards to like regular perk cards to like increase their levels, and the cost was exponentially greater each time. But you got a jump start on that if you had progress in Nuclear Winter. They just moved that over to the legendary perk cards. So I like what the legendary perks do for sure, but I don't like how we had to get them. Because it's just another grind, which is kind of an ongoing theme with 76.
It's also made like a lot of areas more difficult because like enemies being raised to your level, but it also meant you had a better chance of getting legendaries close to your level, which is kind of nice.
So there was that, but I also remember, and I'm assuming like it kind of got like leveled out a little bit, but people around level 20, like 20 to 30, were complaining about just not having enough ammo or like hitting a difficulty spike around that time. And I'm hoping that got fixed. But
I know they've like buffed Straight Out of the Vault recently. So
because they give like
a
supply bag or gift bag or whatever.
I think this is a C tier one.
I already put it in C tier.
Oh, okay. I think it's an important update to have happened.
It is, yes.
But living through it wasn't fun.
But I like things being scaled up to me regardless of where I am, because that means if I pick up some legendaries off of them, they won't be level 5. But they'll still be wood armor.
Oh, good old wood.
Can we put Steel Dawn, Steel Rain on the same spot? Because it's the same.
It is 2 harbs. We'll probably put them the same, to be fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so Steel Dawn and Steel Rain. Thoughts?
I haven't played them.
Oh, come on, Jared.
Come on!
The game you're currently playing.
I've only seen people talk about the Brotherhood of Steel. I've yet to see any actual Brotherhood of Steel anything.
They're over in Fort Atlas.
Well, I haven't been there yet.
Just go talk to him. Just go.
I'm working on it. I literally have the quest in my thing, but there's so many other quests to do too.
Boot up the game right now.
No. You can't make me.
Come on. Okay. I will say this is a good quest line. Caedo and I have praised the choosing a side thing, I think, several times now on the PIPCAST.
Yes.
Because Paladin Romani versus Night Shin is a very Brotherhood, let's see the two sides of it debate. Which, up till now, it had pretty much been every game either picked one way or the other to go with the Brotherhood. Either they're more opening and welcome to help them survive, or they're more hold away from the world in order to go with what was initially wrote down. And this is the first game where we really got to see conflict between those two.
And the crazy part about it is it's the multiplayer Fallout where that happened.
Yeah.
Not the single player narrative ones.
Yep.
Which I think is also crazy how they were able to like fit that into, I mean, I know they're instanced, but it's really cool that they were able to fit that in to 76 the way they did. But without spoiling too much, like seeing what happens with the Brotherhood when you decide to join them as a initiate, helping them out with the riffraff of the wasteland when they first introduce themselves, and then helping them along with their mission, whatever you decide that mission should be, is really cool. And a lot of the payoff for like who you side with, like decisions keep coming up too towards the end in Steel Rain, where you kind of, you can make like micro decisions on either side. But yeah, it's just really cool. And I think it's really cool. I don't want to spoil it, but I want to geek out about it super hard. So I'm going to put it either in A or S.
I'd go A. I don't think we can quite push it to S tier.
Okay.
Like, it's good.
It's good.
Still Dawn and Still Rain are good. Very cool. I don't know if I enjoy it as much as those four. Or at least it doesn't change things as much as those four. Because Wastelanders put down the foundation for Still Dawn and Still Rain to work.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember what this one is, Sarge. Locked and Loaded. What is this one?
It's not just me.
Well,
I'm not alone.
Fortunately for you guys, I didn't remember either, so I just Googled it. Because I was like, what the hell is Locked and Loaded? Locked and Loaded, according to the fandom wiki page, says, it features improvements to the camp and shelter system and special loadouts, which allow the player to rearrange their character builds when they wish.
Oh crap, that should have been in the game.
It was put between Still Dawn and Still Rain. It adds on a daily ops. That's it. Some flares and stuff, because it's just whatever. Like D tier, because I don't think it deserves to go in F because it added stuff like the loadout system, which was helpful, but God, was it a boring update.
I think that's almost word for word what we said when we were talking about it on the PIPCAST.
Cool.
Like, man, this update's boring or something like that. I don't know. I want to imagine that's what we said, because it's just like a tide you over in the least possible way before the big Brotherhood of Steel arc. So right. D?
Yeah, D tier.
Or F? Okay.
Yeah, not quite F. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it did technically make the game better, but the word technically is lifting its weight there.
Yeah.
Alright, now on to the latest update, Fallout 76 Expeditions, The Pit. Yes. Which, as previously mentioned, I'm the only one who's played.
So you're the only one who gets to decide where it goes.
I've also not played a lot of it. It is a positive. I'm currently thinking either B or C.
Okay.
And here's the thing. I'm almost leaning more towards B, but then I'm like, but Automatron had robots. Like...
Yeah, is it better than robots?
It's good is the thing.
The Pit had trogs.
Yeah, there's a lot of trogs now. And the Pit looks really cool. Like, heading back even in these instantial areas looks good. I've already, like, set up a bunch of wallpapers for it, because it just looks so cool.
Well, think of, like, I don't know, maybe square footage. Like, there was, for Automatron, there was the Mechanist Slayer and, like, one of the Weird Raiders dungeon.
Yeah, I added in the Rust Devils.
The Rust Devils, yeah.
The Raiders there. Expeditions is, like, very much its separate thing, which I feel is more like the Point Lookout style of thing, where it's like, go off to this place. Mm-hmm. But then it also adds in, like, the responders returning. And there might be more to it. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say C tier, because I haven't played enough to know if it's B tier. Like,
C-tier...
maybe there's some really cool lore that I'm missing out on.
Okay.
Like,
C tier above or below Automatron, though?
I like Automatron. I wanted Automatron to be B tier is the problem. So I'll let you decide where you're going to put it on your list,
No,
Mr.
okay.
I don't love robots.
Caedo's a robot hater.
Yeah.
I'll put it... Okay. I'll put it below Automatron then, in the C line.
Alright. We have two more, and I think we can probably get through these quickly. The whole From the Stars thing was just like...
It's not great.
It was
Is that more Aliens?
Right? Yeah, Aliens in 76.
S tier, baby.
Oh, S tier.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Okay, Jared, did you play much of it?
Of
Alien
what?
event in 76,
No,
the Alien event?
none of it.
Okay. Alright. I was wondering if you, like, picked 76 back up, because this was a recent update. So that's the thing, I was wondering if you picked it up around that time or just after.
No, I picked it. I literally picked it up like the last PIPCAST. I had been playing it that week, and that's...
Oh, okay.
It's very recently. I just picked it up and have actually been seriously playing it.
Fair enough.
So I've
in
missed
which case,
everything.
Yeah, Caedo's actually the one who's played the most of this.
The From the Stars?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
I don't believe you.
You better, because I played it with you and one other event on my own. And I saw you play it, like, with other people, I want to say, as well.
Did I?
So... I know you hopped back into 76 a few times around when this was happening. But the fact you can barely remember any of that, and all I remember is shooting, like, some generators or whatever.
I think we've established that my memory is also garbage, so...
Yeah.
Sounds like a D to me.
I'm gonna put it in F tier, actually.
What? You're going F tier?
Like, it made the game worse?
I didn't feel like I was doing anything useful when I was doing.
But didn't you get that
doing this
rock
event.
which gave you radiation?
Yeah, I
You
already
love
had
that rock.
I already had a barrel that did the same thing. Like, sure, it's a
But it's a
decoration,
rock
but
now.
I don't. It's a rock,
All right.
Sarge.
Caedo hates it. It's going in F. Sorry, rock lovers.
Dang it! The meteorite sent me over the edge. All right,
All right, and finally we have Fallout Worlds.
F tier.
Cool. I'm guessing none of us have been in a Fallout world.
76 players. How many Fallout worlds have you created? None? Okay.
Yeah. Like, it's a cool concept. You get to basically mess around with settings and be like, oh yeah, I want this world to have lower gravity or bigger build limit or whatever. But you don't get any progress.
It's just sandbox mode, but
Yeah.
in a game that strongly relies on character progression
Yeah.
and grinding.
As far as I'm aware,
like,
you can't save it at all, so it's not even like single player.
Yeah.
Where
It's so
you can do
far
it that
away
way.
from like what the game actually wants you to do.
Alright. Well, there is our list.
There's our
Comments.
tier list.
Shout at us.
Yeah,
Tell
tell
us why
us-
we're wrong.
Tell us
I feel
why
like it's
we're
a pretty solid list.
the most incorrect.
I can already see like a few arguments happening.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Honest Hearts is going to be a big one because it seems to be one which people either really don't like or really do like. I can see actually. It's quite a few of the New Vegas DLCs because Lonesome Road and Old World Blues. I feel like there'll be people telling us to put them higher,
Yeah.
and I've been called out for liking Yuko too much a few times, so I think that one's going to be argued as well.
I think,
But-
well, yeah, because during the release time of like Nuka World and Far Harbor, like once Far Harbor was out, like everybody was just crapping all over Nuka World just because
Yeah.
it was apparently the inferior DLC.
Yeah, it's the standard Fallout 3 sucks because I like New Vegas.
Yeah, basically, but in
Like,
DLC form.
Something new came along, so the old one must be bad now.
Yeah, that's how it works. The old one's automatically bad. Right,
Out with the
Morrowind
old,
fans?
in with the new.
Isn't that right, Morrowind fans? Isn't the old one automatically bad?
Hey now.
Tell us in the comments. I just made Jared angry.
Okay. Well, we should probably do a quick wrap up on what we've been playing / working on.
Oh, I wrote so
who
many.
wants to speed through this stuff first?
I'll get through mine first, I think, if that's okay. Just so you guys can just cut me off and just start on yours whenever you want to. So I watched the Edgerunners anime. It was fun. We talked about it already. I have been playing Sir Whoop Ass, which is basically a parody of an action RPG, and it's super fun and hilarious.
That's good.
And I highly recommend it. That's also the game I would say, like, you should stream it and then not tell people that it's not a mod.
Okay.
Also, I started a human barbarian on Neverwinter Nights just for funsies, because I was like super bored, and I was like, I'm just gonna go back to my mainstay for a little bit. So I've been doing that. I hate trying to make a supercut of the Fallout 2 playthrough because it crashed every single time. So
I thought you hated the haircut place supercuts. I was like, what did they
sure,
do to you, man?
Sure, I hate them too. They just, you know, I told them to take an inch off the hair, and they took off all of it.
Oh dang!
I hate them. Dang it, supercuts. Also, I don't know what the deal was with trying to render out, you know, an 11.5 to 12 hour video on DaVinci Resolve. Like, anything I tried, like looking through forums and stuff like that, anything I tried, it still crashed at 99%, and I still could not figure out why. I had plenty of room on my hard drive.
Have you fixed it now?
No.
Did it keep crashing at the exact same point where something slightly different than normal was happening on screen, possibly a load zone?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It was basically identical no matter what I changed.
Did you delete the exact frame it was crashing on?
Yeah, you should do that.
Because that's something I had to do a few times in videos.
If it stopped
Same.
the exact same frame in the end card, though, like, I guess I could try it, but it was always at 99%.
Yeah, 99% on like a 12-hour video, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
that's painful.
That could be like 20 minutes behind the end. It's
Yeah.
almost a full episode.
How could I find that frame though, too?
Well, you'd have to be watching when it crashes is the thing. That's how I
Yeah.
figured it out.
No, because that's the thing. Like, it crashes and doesn't even do a crash report, but when I come back, it was just right at the very end. So it's something to do with
It just fully quits out.
yeah. So something to do
Completely.
with caching or trying to process or something related to, like, maybe I need more room on my C drive for some reason because that's where it's installed. I don't know, but I tried rendering it at least 4 or 5 times, and all of those times it stopped at 99% and like just quit out. So
Maybe try like rendering it in segments. I don't know.
Maybe
How?
a Let's Play series. Just do them each as individual renders. That could work.
I mean, you could take your whole 12-hour thing, render like 4-hour segments until you have all of them, and then render all that together as for a final one.
Oh my
just
god,
to see if
that
if all of it's getting.
that
I know,
makes it like
but-
triple processed.
I know, but at least maybe it would be some progress and not
Maybe-
no progress. I
maybe.
don't know, man.
I might give that a shot, but like
These are not ideal. Like,
I wonder how
solutions,
crunchy
but-
it'll look if I render something
Yeah,
like 4
I know.
times
I know.
over
Stay
itself.
tuned, everyone on the channel, to see if a supercut ever comes out.
If that ever happens, because even calling it a supercut, like, still it's kind of self-defeating because I literally can't make it a supercut because it's too long. So it's actually a 3-part supercut that are all 12 hours.
God, it's a full day and a half.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's like a 35-hour thing altogether.
It's too long. It's too long. No, bad. Jared, what have you been doing?
Oh man, I've been playing so much because I still haven't really been able to like really figure out what I want to play. But that means I've tried a bunch of new stuff. One of which I'm actually enjoying quite a bit is called Potion Permit. It's a new game that came out. It's very much kind of like in the Stardew Valley style. and not quite as complicated as Stardew Valley, but it's fun. You run around, gather plants and stuff, and make potions for people and stuff. It's fun. Started playing Monkey Island. Returned to Monkey Island on live on stream on the channel. Loving the heck out of that game. It is a nostalgic blast from the past. Monkey Island was like the first serious PC game I ever owned back in the day on an old CD-ROM.
Yeah.
Not even the old version, but it was a CD-ROM version, but still.
It's fun watching you play it too.
It's been a heck of a good time. Again, continuing Fallout 76. I think I'm at like level 25.
Okay.
And I'm honestly, okay, here's my thing. Like, I'm getting to the point where, like, I'm getting higher in level. My weapons aren't getting that much better, and I'm having a harder time killing things. And they're killing me very quickly with pipe weapons, and it's angering me.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing we were just talking about. Weird.
Yeah. So I guess they haven't fixed it, because it's happening to me right now. And I don't like perk cards because, like, I'm doing all this crafting, and if it was a normal Fallout game, I'd be really good at crafting. But I'm not, because I don't have the freaking perk cards for it. So I can't make better weapons. Cool. So that's where I'm at. I'm still playing it, though. I'm still seeing it through as much as I can.
So, should I hop in and mod your weapons for you?
No.
Because I can't.
Mods don't fix everything, bro. Come on.
Listen, you're gonna be the one that says that.
Of course I'm gonna be the one that says that. I'm a walking contradiction.
Well, thank you.
And then there are a couple other games that I added at the end here of just some random games that I played in my search for the perfect game that I feel like playing at this moment in time. One's called The Wandering Village. It's sort of, excuse me, it's like a city builder, but you're on the back of this giant beast that just lumbers through this world, and you can eventually give it commands, but you're also building and picking up refugees in this poisoned world, almost post-apocalyptic, and I don't know, it's just really weird and different, and I kind of dig it.
You said almost post-apocalyptic?
It is, in the sense, because like the whole world has been like poisoned.
Oh my
and
God.
The only refuge is on this walking giant beast called like an Onmu or something. I don't know. It's like, it looks like a giant dinosaur with a flat rock top back, and you build a city on it, and it just keeps walking. It'll stop and sleep, and you can feed it and stuff. It's just kind of cool. I don't know. I recommend it though. And the last one I threw up here is called Road Warden. And it's very lo-fi. Like, it's like a visual novel, not a visual novel, but like an interactive. It's almost like playing D&D, where it's like, you've just walked into the city and there's some people. What would you like to do? And you can choose from a list of things you can do. I haven't played that one as much yet, but I kind of dig it. It's kind of cool. Like, the art style is kind of monochromatic with like this sort of like yellows and golds and blacks. No dialogue or anything. It's all written down. So if you don't like reading, you're probably not gonna like this game. But
I hate reading.
Literature, the devil. But like I said, I haven't played this one as much, so I don't have as much to say about it, other than the fact that I like the premise of it so far, and I will have to update you guys on the next PIPCAST if I play more of it.
Yeah, please do.
But other than that, that's pretty much it. How about you, Sarge?
Yeah, well, much like you, I've got a Stardew Valley-esque game I've been playing.
Oh my God, this one surprised me when I saw you wrote it down, Sarge.
Yeah, it's called My Time in Portia. And you're like a builder. You own this workshop and you build things for the town residents. And it's like really nice and charming. There's the occasional talk about how there were 330 years of darkness and the water's just been poisoned and a rat came and stole everything. And I'm pretty sure everyone's going to die. But at the moment, it's all lovely. And it talks about romances and stuff. And I've already found the person I want to couple up with. So my character, called Linda, keeps going up to Alice, who runs a flower shop, and just talking to her and running off. It's very cute.
Can you marry everyone, like all at once?
I don't want to marry everyone all at once.
But can you? But is it an option?
I don't care if it's an option. It's not an option for me.
Okay.
Alice and Linda will be together
Dang.
forever. All right.
You're-
Yeah, I've been playing that.
Sounds like you're invested.
I'm way
A little
too
bit.
invested. But it's pretty good. I was looking for a survival game, and it turns out that's the one I want somehow.
That's
I've
very
also been
strange to
playing-
me. But
Yeah,
I'm
playing
glad.
some more aggressive stuff
Yeah.
in line with myself. Metal Hellsinger, which I've described as Doom if it was a musical.
Yes.
You're playing just as a demon with a gun, but it's a rhythm action, like first-person shooter. And so satisfying when you like get perfect, where you're just firing the gun on every beat,
Yeah.
getting every
Mhm.
shot hits. Lovely feeling. And on Game Pass, which all three of these things are,
Nice.
yeah, I'm using my Game Pass subscription well.
Getting thrifty.
Deathloop came out on Tuesday, so I've been playing that and having a lot
Nice.
of fun with it, because it feels like a roguelike I can properly get into.
That's good.
So yeah, been really enjoying that. I'm tending to only do like one mission at a time, so to speak, which is like a quarter of a day, but it's been good just hopping in and out, and getting progress every single time has felt good. So I've had fun with that.
Awesome.
Very cool.
That's great. This is turning out to be a really long episode.
Yep.
So, that's what we've been playing. Please tell us what you've been playing in the comments below, and how wrong we are with our tier list, because
Oh, so wrong.
the reason these are so popular is because not everyone agrees.
Yeah.
So leave your disagreements below, and we hope you enjoyed this episode 94 of the PIPCAST 3000. Join us in 2 weeks where we may or may not have the Gamer article where we make fun of it and offer critique. Maybe.
Yeah.
Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye!